In the headlines, Nigeria Labour Congress declares two-day nationwide strike over effects of subsidy removal. Road safety official dies, 3 others injured in motor accident in Abuja. Vice Chancellor denies House Committee probe employment racketeering. Also in the news, tourists from Morocco shot dead after straying into Algerian waters. Hello there, good evening and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. I'm Abdullahi Ahmed. We begin the update in Abuja as the Nigeria Labour Congress says it will embark on a 2-day nationwide warning strike on the 5th and 6th of September. The national president of the NLC, Joe Ajero, told newsmen on Friday that the strike would be a total and indefinite shutdown of the nation. The NLC president spoke at a press briefing after the union's National Executive Council meeting on Thursday night. Noel Sampson has more on the story.
Organized Labour is unhappy with what it calls the federal government's refusal to engage and reach agreement with organized labour on the critical issues which have impacted negatively on Nigerians. Of course, on top of the plate are the consequences of the hike in the price of petrol, which has unleashed massive suffering on Nigerian workers and masses. To compound matters, the union is uncomfortable with the renewed onslaught against trade unions and the leadership by the state and its agents across Nigeria. The NLC claims the police, under the instruction of certain forces paddling the name of the president of the federation, have invaded and occupied the national headquarters of the NURTW, making it difficult for the union to discharge its responsibilities to its members across the nation.
The Imo State government has continued in its efforts to cloning the Congress in the state in order to continue its exploitation of workers' rights and privileges despite all efforts at reaching amicable resolution. The Abia State government has continued to interfere in trade union affairs and seeking to impose its own leadership on the state councils of National Union of Road Transport Workers and National Union of Local Government Employees, and has continued the inglorious part of workers' intimidation and union bashing in Abia State.
He said the next resolution was to embark on a total and indefinite shutdown of the nation within 14 working days or 21 working days.
To commence a 2-day nationwide warning strike on Tuesday and Wednesday, 5th and 6th of September 2023, to demonstrate our readiness for the indefinite strike later in the month, and to also demand that the state vacates the illegally occupied national headquarters of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, to embark on a mass protest and rally in Imo State within this month of September 2023 in preparation for a shutdown of the state to compel the state government to stop the abuse and violation of the rights and privileges of workers and trade unions in the state. The FCT minister failed to stop forthwith the attack on workers and thousands of Nigerians through the demolition of houses, which are mainly for the masses and the less privileged and the third of the earth, that NLC will engage the minister on the streets of Abuja.
Nigerians are hopeful the government and the union will come together to a roundtable and have solutions. Noel Sampson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, the Co-Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Dauda Alibiu, has expressed deep shock over the death of a Corps official of a tow truck driver in a road crash accident at Karo Bridge in Abuja. The crash occurred on the Yanya-Maraba Expressway on Friday in the course of towing a broken-down trailer from the crash site. A statement by the Corps Public Relations Education Officer, Bisi Kazim, said an investigation revealed that 4 people were involved, 3 of whom had sustained different degrees of injuries, the driver being the only fatality. Now, only the 2 vehicles, the truck and the FRC tow truck, were reportedly involved in the accident. BU commiserated with the management and staff of the Corps over the loss of their personnel. The Bauchi State Police Command says it has repelled an attack and neutralized 5 members of a criminal gang who usually terrorize Jamare town. The command stated this in a press release signed by the Public Relations Officer SP Ahmed Wakil on behalf of the Commissioner of Police Awal Muhammad Musa. According to the statement, a combined team of operatives in conjunction with a quasi-security outfit encountered the suspected kidnappers and bandits that recently attacked a market and kidnapped one businessman in Jama'ari. Some of the items recovered include 3 AK-47 rifles, 1 SMG rifle, 3 empty magazines, 105 rounds of live ammunition and 1 cutlass. Wakil maintains that the police operatives in collaboration with local hunters were carrying out a routine surveillance and raids of suspected criminal hideouts when they suddenly came under attack from a heavily armed criminal gang. The operatives fought bravely according to the statement, repelling the attack and eventually neutralizing 5 of the gang leaders while the others fled. He added that preliminary investigation revealed that the suspected kidnappers and bandits were responsible for terrorizing Buji, Mashema, Itasgado, Gwaram, Sara, Birnin Kudu, Ningi, and Bura areas of Bauchi and Jigawa states. Still talking security, the Plateau State Police Command has intercepted a truck loaded with dry leaves believed to be Indian hemp in Kwatai area of Jos South local government area of the state. The State Police Commissioner, Okoro Julius, while parading the suspect, says the arrest was made following a tip-off by an informant, adding that in light of the receipt of the information, the command mobilized its men to the area. He said upon sighting the officers, the suspects took to their heels, adding, however, that 4 suspects were later apprehended after a police chase. He said when the vehicles were searched, 100 bags of dry leaves suspected to be Indian hemp under gene cartons were recovered. Now, the commissioner further says the suspects, vehicles and exhibits are currently in police custody, adding that efforts are being intensified to apprehend the fleeing suspect as investigations continues. The police boss called on Plateau State residents to be security conscious and report any suspicious activity or persons and provide useful, timely and accurate information to the police as soon as possible.
And they were able to intercept the truck, the trailer, loaded with bags of dry leaves suspected to be cannabis, concealed with cartons of dry gin. And 4 suspects were arrested, the driver and 3 others. They claim to have conveyed the items from Lagos, and their destination was Plateau State. Unfortunately for them, our men on patrol, the policemen on patrol, intercepted them and brought them here. We are yet to know the owner, the person that sent them on that errand. And therefore, investigation is on in full gear to bring all the culprits that are involved to book.
Now, women in the Federal Executive Council of the government have been urged to contribute their quota to the success of the Renewed Hope agenda of the Tinubu administration. Speaking to Trust TV, the Special Assistant on Women Affairs in the Office of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yetunde Adeniji, commended the 25% allocation to women in the current cabinet of the Tinubu administration, while calling on them to give their best to deliver on the responsibilities given to them. According to her, women's economic empowerment and active participation is central to realizing women's rights and gender equality in Nigeria.
On the list of ministers, we have a 25%, if not, representation out of the 35% affirmation that we've always wanted. And that is extremely fair enough. We're still gunning for more. You know, we still want more. But what we have And then we have these women in strategic ministries. And these strategic ministries that we have them in are ministries that cater to women. You look at humanitarian, you look at women affairs, you know, these are ministries that cater to the issues of women, and who more to understand women than a fellow woman. So these women will be in the right position to ensure that, you know, women are catered to. They will bring up initiatives, they will bring up projects that will cater to them, and also make sure that women are also well represented within those ministries.
Staying in Abuja, the Committee of Vice Chancellors of Federal Universities in the country on Friday denied allegations of offering bribes to members of the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee investigating job racketeering across federal ministries, departments and agencies to obtain favors. Now, the Vice Chancellor said rather they are eagerly awaiting the conclusion of the work of the committee, as they have confidence that the committee will help them address the issues of manpower shortages across universities in the country. Vice Chancellor, University of Jos, Professor Ishaya Tanko, who spoke on behalf of the Vice Chancellors when they appeared before the committee, says, to the best of his knowledge, no money was sent by some Vice Chancellors other than the ones meant for foreign exchange for them to attend international workshop organized in Birmingham in the United Kingdom beginning from Tuesday, September 5th. The chairman of the Ad Hoc Committee, Yusuf Gaji, said the committee has resolved that it will not be distracted from the central issue of his investigation. According to him, the publication was aimed at diverting the attention of the Ad Hoc Committee.
We also, surprisingly, read the very, very disturbing social media, kind of publication. And I can say that the Vice Chancellors are not part of that. The Vice Chancellors have not provided any bribe to anybody. The Vice Chancellors, dispersed from this National Assembly, from this committee that day. But I want to assure this committee on behalf of the Committee of Vice Chancellors of Nigerian Universities that we have hope and confidence in this committee, in this ad hoc committee, because I can tell you, Mr. Chairman, as we speak, more than 5 programs of the University of Jos are in danger of not receiving accreditation because of this issue of employment.
The matter is before investigating authority. So the chairman will be fair, the committee will be fair. We thank you for coming. We have no question to ask. If I had behaved like this yesterday, so that some people will not feel you are shouting, you are angry, to intimidate people from saying the truth.
Now, Benue State government's plan to empower 5,000 women and 2,000 youths across the state from the 2 billion naira palliative initiative has been greeted by a mixed reaction from members of the public. Now, this is coming as subsidy removal continues to bite hard on many Nigerian families in Benue State. Jimmy Azandi reports.
Benue State Governor Hyacinth Elia had recently unveiled his administration strategies aimed at cushioning the effect of fuel subsidy removal, which stirred up reactions from residents. Most of the Benue residents say the idea of fuel subsidy removal is a good one, though most families are finding it difficult to meet daily needs.
Personally, I would like to first of all establish that fuel subsidy removal is in the best interest of this nation. Having said that, it is very obvious that people are passing through hardship, particularly those from the lower class in the sense that are not, their income was not something to talk about.
The resident also said the empowerment of 5,000 women through grants, 2,000 youths in ICT and provision of 100 buses for intra and interstate transportation, if achieved, are commendable strategies.
And he has already outlined a lot of things that he wants to carry out. And so far they say that about 2 billion has received 2 billion, and he has outlined many things that he intends to do. That is to create, to give money to women cooperative, about over 5,000, and he's going to train the youth in ICT, over 2,000 youths in the state on ICT, buying of buses for the Benue links, that is to boost transportation.
The residents also react to Governor Alia's policy to pay for all candidates sitting for SSC next year in public schools.
Most especially with the issue of transportation, the governor said he's buying new vehicles to put them in Benue links as a state transport company so that it will cushion the effect of transportation. And for the paying of WAEC fees, there are parents that can't even pay for their kids in the school now for WAEC because of the subsidy removal. But paying of the WAEC fees now, it's also a brilliant one.
The governor recently told Benue residents that he has so far received 2 billion naira from the federal government to disburse as palliatives to the people. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up ahead, we take a look at Adire traders whose concern is over the influx of adulterated products from China. More on this and many other stories coming up ahead after the break. Welcome back to the news. Here's a reminder of our top stories at this hour. Nigeria Labour Congress declares two-day warning strike over effects of subsidy removal. Road safety officer dies and 3 others sustain injury in motor accident in Abuja. Now, the children of the late designer of Nigeria's flag, Taiwo Akinkumi, have called on the federal government to immortalize the contribution of their father. The first son of the late iconic Nigerian, Akinkumi Akinremi Ayinde, made the call in Ibadan, where he described his deceased father as an accomplished patriot whose contribution to national development remains immeasurable. The report.
He is gone, but not forgotten. Taiwo Akinkumi, designer of Nigeria's national flag, remains a remarkable Nigerian whose contribution to nationhood remains indelible in the hearts of many. Moments after his death, his residence in Ibadan is bereft of the usual buzz that accompanies the exit of a great nationalist and symbol of Nigeria's unity. Oblivious of the magnitude of the great loss that has befallen the nation, only a handful of visitors are here to mourn with the immediate family of the deceased. One of the visitors is Elijah Olatunde Taiwo, a former tenant of the late flagman who shared fond memories.
I'm one of his tenants in his old house at Ekutedo Yolobe. I've been with him since 1976. And he has been a very nice person to me. And he took us as if to say we are his son. Papa Taiwo Akinkumi has left a very fine legacy to Nigeria as a whole.
A condolence register has been opened in honor of the deceased flagman for visitors to pen down their heartfelt messages. Meanwhile, children of the late Taiwo Akinkunmi have called on the federal government to immortalize the memory of their late father.
He has not been recognized enough because, as you can see, I'll be happy and others will not be happy because since they have not named this man even a block, even a drainage. They did not name this man. They did not name anything on his name at all, which is not okay. People that they are not even do, people that they don't even do much, like what he did. You can see where they are naming on their name. Wherever is, in fact, we can't say it all.
Our expectations from government is, is too enormous. When he was alive, the government did nothing for him. So when he's now late, unless we, the children, should look to the face of God. As I am personally, I don't look to the government for anything. Concerning me, I don't, but because if you look at Nigeria of today, there are some Nigerians which they did nothing. They contributed nothing to the development of Nigeria and they are living okay.
The late Taiwo Akinkunmi was a designer of the Nigerian flag. He was born in Ibadan on the 10th of May 1936, where he lived a private life until he passed on to eternal glory in the early hours of Tuesday, August 29.
Now, traders of indigenous Adire fabric in Ogun State are seeking a protectionist intervention from the government to end the incursion of adulterated Chinese products in the Nigerian market. The traders specifically call on Governor Dapo Abiodun and State House Assembly members to ban the sale of adulterated Chinese Adire in the local markets, saying this would save the culture and heritage of the state.
The traders made their feelings known during an advocacy walk through major streets within Abeokuta metropolis. The walk, which terminated at the palace of Alake of Egbaland, was to sensitize the people on the dangers of the invasion of adulterated fabrics. At Alake Palace, the protesters displayed the differences between locally made fabrics and the imported Chinese Adire, noting that the proliferation of the Chinese version is to the detriment of the local markets.
After this invasion of the China made, these guys, ladies that are doing these fabrics, that are batik designers, that are tie and dye artists that are into this industry, so many of them have lost their jobs. So many of them have lost their jobs. And if we should open our eyes and say we are not concerned about what is going on, if youths are losing their jobs, we all know that the society will not be at rest.
The responsibility of the government to protect the populace. And I think it's the high time for the government to come to the rescue of indigenous textile and promote and protect the indigenous textile. Because it goes a long way. We are saying made in Nigeria. We are saying let Nigeria economy grow. How can Nigeria economy grow if we start having piracy of indigenous cloth? If we cannot help the SME, so then what are we talking about? The people, we people in this industry, we are the SME, and every nation that doesn't protect the SME is going to have economic back down. So we are still appealing to government. They should step in. We need raw materials.
While expressing hope that the issue will be properly handled, they said it has led to loss of job for small and medium-scale entrepreneurs in the state.
Now, on the international scene, Algerian authorities have shot dead at least one Moroccan tourist after a group of 5 strayed into Algerian waters on jet skis, according to one of the survivors. Only 2 of the group returned home, saying that their relatives of the victims and the family of a second man who is missing and is already presumed dead. Now, the incident took place on Tuesday after the 5 men lost their bearings while exploring the sea on their jet skis near the Moroccan coastal resort of Saidia on the border with Algeria, says Mohammed Kissi, who survived the incident and who says his brother has been killed. The border between Algeria and Morocco has been closed since 1994, and the 2 countries have not had diplomatic ties since Algiers cut ties with Rabat back in 2021. Now, speaking in a video published by Morocco's Le 360 news site, Kissi says the group of friends had been approached after dark by an Algerian government vessel, saying that he heard the boat firing on the group and said his brother Bilal and another of the group, Abdelali Meshour, were both shot dead. Now, another member of the group was detained by the Algerian authorities, according to the witness. Now, Moroccan authorities say they could not comment on the case, calling it a judicial matter. Talking sports now, midfielder Alex Iwobi is set for a medical at Fulham after a deal which could reach £22 million was agreed. Meanwhile, João Pelhina has been given the permission to travel to Germany by the Cottages as talks continue over a deal with Bayern Munich. The fee is expected to be about £65 million, with Fulham also seeking a replacement. Pelhina is keen to play UEFA Champions League football and is now awaiting confirmation of an agreement between the two clubs before taking a medical. The Portugal midfielder would become the second significant departure from Craven Cottage this summer, following Alexander Mitrovic's move to Saudi Pro League side Al Hilal. Alex Iwobi, on the other hand, has played 2 of Everton's 3 Premier League games this season, but missed Saturday's home defeat to Wolves with an injury. The Toffees are yet to pick up a single point so far. The 27-year-old Nigerian midfielder joined Everton from Arsenal in the summer of 2019 and has made 123 appearances, scoring on 6 different times. Well, that's the news for now. Feel free to join us later at 9 o'clock. I'll be back with more news stories on the News Hour. For now, just follow us across our social media platforms for more content and visit trusttv.com for more news. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. Thank you for watching.